So this is English literature formative assessment. I am going to explain to you all about the marking scheme. Now, first thing which I want to tell you all children is just see the reading time and the writing time. That means your writing time is 1 hour 30 minutes. The first thing which I noticed is most of the students are in a hurry to submit the paper, submit the answer script. I want each and every student to please utilize the entire exam time given to you all. Do not be in a hurry to submit the paper. First thing. Second thing, just scroll down. All right. Now, students, the first thing is question number 1. If you see, this is an extract given to you from your poem. All right. And this, it contains 10 marks. And the marking, the division is also given to you. Now, first is what is the rhyme scheme? You know, if you give the rhyme scheme, you will automatically get 1 mark. This is fine. All right. Next is to identify the figures of speech. Can you tell me which figures of speech is this? Anyone?
Can I?
Yes.
It is simile.
Okay, it is a simile. Very good. Now, as you said, it is a simile. What is? I just wanted to know what is the difference between a simile and a metaphor. And what is the similarity? Have you heard about the word metaphor?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, heard it.
Yes.
We have heard it, but we don't know what it is.
What is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Ma'am, forgot what it is.
Ma'am,
I think so, ma'am, to express
ma'am,
something
the
in
figure
a
of
over
the speech
exaggerated.
is
one student at one simile, one word or for 1 mark, or how are you going to frame it?
I wrote it as the figure of speech is simile.
Okay. So you
ma'am, I
have
wrote
to
metaphor.
all right. Now, whatever is the answer, what I meant to tell you is you all are going to answer in complete sentence. Please note it down. Write all the answers in complete sentences, and you all are going to underline the keyword or the key phrase. Okay. For example, for the first question, you are going to write down the rhyme scheme of the poem is, then give the rhyme scheme and just underline the rhyme scheme. The figures of speech in the given line is this. Underline the figures of speech. Okay. Just do not give the keywords. Am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Please note
Yes.
it down. Please note it down. Write complete answer, complete full sentence, and underline the keyword and the key phrases. Now, the next question, it is state 2 reasons that the girl gave for not going to school, and then the other half is which excuse was acceptable and which excuse was unacceptable. Now it is for 4 marks, right? Now how will be the division? Who will tell me? Let's see. The first half will be for how many marks? First half of the question.
Ma'am, 2 marks.
Why 2 marks?
Ma'am, because acceptable will contain 1 mark and unacceptable will contain 1
No,
mark.
I am asking the first half of the question only.
Ma'am,
How much?
because we have to state 2 reasons.
Correct. It will be the first question will be for the marking scheme for this. If you, for example, how you have to write it down, you're going to write point number 1, give a heading, subheading, reason 1, and then give the reason. Next, leave a line, write point number 2, write down reason 2, and underline it as a subheading and give the reason. Okay. Straight away you get 2 marks for this. Giving subheadings also, reason 1, reason 2, and then specifying it. Next is which excuse seems acceptable and unacceptable. So that means here 1 mark for acceptable, for unacceptable you will get 1 mark. So automatically 2 marks, the question is being divided into, right? But how are you going to write? You have already written point number 1 for first reason, point number 2 for second reason. So point number 3 will be acceptable, put a dash, underline,
yes, ma'am.
then give whatever is the acceptable excuse. Then point number 4, write down the subheading unacceptable, put a dash, and then write whatever is the unacceptable issue. This is how you are supposed to write down in the exams. All right. Now, such type of a question, there's one such type of a question in the last. And I must say that from the entire class, there was only one student who had followed this paper or the marking scheme, which I had explained to you all before the exam. All right. The last question, where you'll just scroll down to the last question, where again the question is for 4 marks, and the poet, and you have been asked to tell the plot, the setting, the action. Last question. So now can you see in this type of a question also, this is for 4 marks, but the elements are given to you. What is the element? The setting, the conflict, the action,
Yes.
and the resolution. So
Then everything
automatically you
contain one
got
mark.
four different subtopics. Okay, first point, you will write down the setting, and then you will give the whatever is the setting.
Yes,
Second point,
underline
you
it.
all are going to write down conflict and give the explanation of the conflict.
Yes.
Third point, action, and fourth point, resolution. Okay, this is the way you are supposed to answer. And it was only Saad from the entire. Okay, he had, the way he had written the paper, the entire presentation, it really matters a lot. He automatically gave automatically, it gives an impression to the moderator, whoever is taking, that okay, this particular student has covered all the 4 points. So automatically you get 4. Okay, now the next question is, give a short summary of the poem. This is for how many marks, students?
4.
4 marks, right?
Oh,
So a minimum, what is expected from y'all? Minimum, how many points
4
y'all are going to write?
points. 4 points.
Yes.
One.
But then if at all, to complete the entire summary, you require more than 4 points. It is well and good. Okay. Don't just, because here they're asking you the summary, right? So even if you write 5 points, it is fine, but make sure that you complete the entire poem, give the entire summary. Just don't leave the summary in between because you have completed 4 points. Clear? Understood this?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next question. First question. Okay. Now name the poem and the poet. Now, and only 1 mark is given for this. So how will be the bifurcation of this? Who will tell me? How would be the bifurcation of marks?
Ma'am, half mark each.
Yes, half mark
Ma'am.
each. So will you get half mark just for writing the name of the poem and the poet, or writing the complete sentence with the
Complete
poem?
sentence.
Complete
Ma'am.
sentence.
Okay,
Ma'am,
so
in
half mark. All right, you need to write in complete sentence, only then you get complete 1 mark. Next is, does the poem have rhyme scheme? And elaborate. Now this is also for 1 mark. How would be the division?
ma'am, we have
Half mark.
Half mark.
half mark.
So, what is the, how are you going to answer the first half of the question? Does the poem have a rhyme scheme?
Ma'am,
No, the poem does not
no,
have.
not
Yes.
the poem does not have a rhyme scheme.
Very good, very good. Writing this sentence is very much compulsory. No, the poem does not have a rhyme scheme. Or yes, the poem has a rhyme scheme. If you write this much, you automatically get half mark. And the remaining half mark you will get for elaborating. Elaborating means justifying the reason why you are saying whether it is having a rhyme scheme or not. Okay. So this is how you get complete 1 mark. Clear, everyone? Have you understood this? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Now, next question is, who's the speaker in the poem and what is the threat mentioned here? And it is for 4 marks. How would be the bifurcation? Who will tell me?
Ma'am, 2 marks.
1 mark for the speaker and 3 marks for the threat.
Excellent. Who gave this
Yes.
answer? Who gave this
Saad.
answer? Saad. Saad, why 1 mark for the speaker?
I think that it is not a very big answer, ma'am. Just a
Right,
speaker.
right. Because the keyword is only one. That is the name of the speaker. right? You cannot have 2 marks for just one word, right? That's the name. And entire 3 marks will be given for what? For mentioning the reason. That why, what was the threat? Okay. Now, if you are saying that it will be the second half will be for 3 marks, then minimum how many points you have to write for that?
Ma'am, 3 points.
Yes. 3 points. Please write down that. After every point, you are going to leave a line. You are going to mention point 1, point 2, point 3 and leave a line. One more thing, please note it down in the notebook, classwork notebook, that after every answer, please leave a line. Okay. Now, let me ask you the next question. What is the message of the poem and do you support the poet's point of view? And it is for 4 marks. How would be the bifurcation? Who will tell
2
me?
and 2.
2.
Ma'am, 2 for
2 marks.
message and 2 for support.
Yes. Now
Hmm.
you understood how the marks are divided?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what I wanted to explain to you all. Now see, 2 marks you will get for what is the message of the poem and 2 marks you will get to support the poet's point of view. Now, for the first half of the question, you will write point number 1 for message. Okay, point number 2, message. If you write 2 points, then only you will get complete 2 marks for that particular first half of the question. But if you see the second half, do you support the poet's point of view? This is for 2 marks. So how will you write down this answer?
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes, I
yes,
support the
we
poet's point of
support
view.
and how we
Yes.
support
Not in
that.
One
points,
minute, Yashika, just a minute. Shlok, I think you gave the answer first, right?
Yes,
Yes. So Shlok, can you repeat your answer? What did you say?
ma'am. What I have written.
Yeah, no, what you just gave the answer to me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I support the poet's point of view.
That's it. Okay. Yes, I support the poet's point of view, or no, I do not support the poet's point of view. This has to be mentioned.
Ma'am,
Okay.
can I say?
If you write this, you will get out of 2 marks, you will automatically get 1 mark over here, right? And in the second point, you are going to justify that why you support or why you don't support. See, whether your answer is yes or no, it is your point of view. But here, what we are seeing is your presentation skills. How are you going to answer the question? If you write that, yes, I support the poet's point of view, automatically, okay? Automatically, you'll get 1 mark. And the remaining 1 mark, you'll get for what? Yes,
For
children?
why do we
justifying.
support the poet's point of
Yes.
view?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Hmm.
Got it? Everybody's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, what I wanted to show you all is, see, both the questions are for 4 marks each, right? And both the questions are having 2 sub questions, but the division of marks of both these questions is different, isn't it? For question 2, the first half contains 1 mark and the second half contains 3 marks. For question 3, it is equally divided, 2 and 2. All right. So 4 marks, that does not always mean that it will have 2 and 2 division. Okay, that's what I wanted to bring it into your notice. Notice that always read the question carefully. I hope you all understood the difference, everyone. Am I
Yes,
audible?
ma'am.
Everyone
Yes, ma'am.
understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Now, section A, everyone is clear with it? Any questions from section A?
No, ma'am.
No questions?
ma'am.
Fine. Now, section B. Let us go to section B. Here you have the prose. All right. Now, what thing you are going to pay attention on? First is give the antonym of scarcely. Now, which form of word is this? Who will tell me? Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? What it is? Anyone? Which
Ma'am,
form? Yes.
is it an adjective?
Is it adjective? Okay. Who else? Who else is going to answer me? Scarcely. Is it an adjective form? Which form it is? You know word forms. You all have studied word forms. What is a noun? What is an adjective?
Yes.
Okay. What about adverb? When do you have ly usually?
Ma'am, so it is an adverb, right?
Just because I gave you the hint, instantly you gave me the answer, Samriti.
Ma'am, I was thinking it was an adverb, but they are saying the words were scarcely out of his mouth, which
Okay.
means they are describing
No,
how
I just
the
asked you this form. Okay, over here. Ly. Ly means what? When do you use ly usually?
Adverbs.
Adverbs, right? So now when you are giving the antonym, what does antonym mean?
Exact opposite, ma'am.
Opposite. So your antonym should also be in the same form. Okay. Got it? Understood, everyone? Next is, what is the meaning of the phrase? You have to give the meaning of the phrase 1 mark, but make sure that for 1 mark, if only you give me the keyword or the key phrase, you will not get marks. Okay, you have to write the answers in complete sentences. Okay, now the next question. Who will tell me the bifurcation? It is for 4 marks. How will be the bifurcation of these two questions?
Ma'am, 1 mark for
One
one
describing.
mark for narrator and
Ma'am, 1 mark for the narrator. Ma'am, 1 mark for narrator and 3 marks for the incident.
Okay, so are you just going to give the name of the narrator, or you're going to write in complete sentence?
incomplete
narrator
sentence.
of the poem is
Write it down. Okay, so if you are saying that for the second half is contains 3 marks, so automatically you will get an answer to your question that how many points is expected from that particular sub question. How many points you all are supposed to write?
3.
For the second half, yeah, 3. Okay,
3.
so minimum 3 points you are supposed to write for this, and 1 mark you get for just giving the name of the narrator. Clear? Understood the bifurcation? Now next question. How will be the bifurcation? It is for 4 marks again.
Ma'am, 2 marks for describing these characters and 2 marks for specific details.
Now again, yeah, give specific details from the story to support your description. Okay. Now, how many, as you said, 2 marks. So how many points you are going to write for each question?
2 points.
2
2
points
points for
each.
2 points to describe the beauty and 2 points to give details.
Specific details.
Correct. Understood? Now next question. Next question. Now see over here. Again, you have to give the meaning 1 mark, give the antonym, that is the opposite, 1 mark. So this is easier. 1 mark you will automatically get if you write give the answer in complete sentence. But then can you see question 2? There are 3 sub questions, but it is for 4 marks. How are you going to divide it?
Ma'am, 1 mark for who is Justin and 1 mark to related the Kiki and the 2 marks for help.
Very good.
For
Very
how
good.
did Kiki help Justin?
Yes, very good, Siddhi. Very good. So can you see 1 mark for just telling who is Justin, 1 mark how is he related to Kiki, and 2 marks for how did Kiki help Justin. Now, for the last sub question, that means sub part, how many points you are expected to write now?
4 points.
For the last one, the third part of the question.
2 points.
4 points.
No, beta, I am over here, Samriddhi. Here you are going to write 1 sentence.
2 points.
2 points.
2 points.
Okay, clear? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what I wanted to show you all. 4 marks does not mean every time you will have same bifurcation. Read the question carefully. Okay, this is just asking who's Justin. That means it will be 1 mark. How is he related to Kiki? The relation you have to give, that again is 1 keyword over here. Okay, One keyword over there, one keyword. So automatically these two questions will have 1 mark each. And the remaining 2 mark you will have to give reason. Okay. How he helped Justin. Okay. And for that you have to give 2 different points. Clear? And the last question I had already explained to you. Now explain the elements. And the question, in the question itself, they have specifically given you the elements. Most of the times the elements are not given. Okay, they would have just asked you explain the elements of the story in detail. What if they would have not given you these headings, and they had just given 4 marks? Then you yourself had to write these headings, right? So it is not necessary that always the questions will have subheadings. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
So children, have you all understood the entire marking scheme
Yes, ma'am.
for English
Yes,
literature?
ma'am.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
your yes ma'am was not that, energetic.
Yes,
Convenient.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.